Hello. Hello.
Test, test. Oh my God. Slim, what the hell? Check, check. Yeah, I can hear myself, Johnny. And we are live from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, the Arena St. Louis, the lead up to the Beast of the East 2013 tournament, highlighted by the Toronto CN Power, skating on the track right now in pink, neon pink. They will be facing off against Montreal's home team, the new Skids on the block. I'm Captain Lou Albamo, and I am joined on the microphone by...
This is Lightning Slim. And the roster of that CN Power team, number 111, Santa Muerte, number 2, Dusty, 204, Motorhead Molly, 21, Dinah Hercha, 212, Lady Gaga, 23, Betty Bomber, 26, Megamouth, 27, Jubilee, 2x4, Nasher the Smasher, 31, Bruceberry Pie, 33, Bambi, 905, Ballerina, number 99, Pantyhoser, and L7, Tear Apart. And I can tell you, the atmosphere in this arena is so loud I can barely hear myself right now, Captain Lou.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. We've got the in-house announcers. That's Mr. Whistler and Plastic Patrick representing Toronto and Montreal, giving out the announcements on the inside. This auditorium, this hockey arena is absolutely electric. The crowd is going nuts. Everyone is excited for a long weekend of Canadian home team action. But before that happens, the WFTDA sanction bout, the biggest sanction bout before the start of a Beast of the East tournament ever, will be going on shortly. We're just finishing up the introductions for CN Power, and we will...
Tomorrow, of course, represents the 10th anniversary of the birth of modern roller derby, and no better place to spend it than in Montreal at the Beast of the East tournament, a tournament that has always represented sort of a state-of-the-art look at the home teams in Eastern Ontario and Quebec. And Captain Lou, it looks like they're about to announce the new Skids on the block.
Sure enough, the crowd will go nuts once new Skids get introduced. Montreal are the gatekeepers to roller derby glory in Canada. The question tonight will be, does CN Power have the key? We've got CN Power getting introduced on the track. I will let you know who is playing tonight for CN Power, or for the Skids. We've got number 1111, that is Bone Machine. Number 118, Trash and Smash. Number Half Pint, that's Little Mama. 289, Cheese Grater. 38, Revolver. 3X's, Smack Daddy. Number 40 is Georgia W. Tush. 454 is Chasing Amy. Number 516, that's Iron Wench. 658, Surgical Strike. Number 8, Jess Bandit. 8080, or Bobo, is Greta Bobo. Number 86, Lady J. And rounding them out is Pianoff. Mange Moi Cool. The alts for the evening will be number 420, Meliwana, and number AK-47, Assassinista. Head coach, Ewan Watt Army, and bench manager will be Charlotte Bruzelot. And you know, Toronto, on paper, this is a mismatch game. This is Toronto coming in at number 49 in WFTDA. Montreal coming in at number 17. Montreal has never been defeated in WFTDA history by a Canadian team. But this is also the kind of game that Canadian WFTDA teams really get up for. I know CN Power has their motor running at full speed. They're coming in hot to this game, Slim, and I know that they really want to put on a good performance against the Skids.
Absolutely, Captain Lou. I noticed that CN Power have eschewed their traditional uniforms, and today they are wearing neon pink out of respect for their hosts, of course, the new Skids.
And if you can't have a good time in Montreal, you don't know what you're doing. The Zebras move themselves to the middle. Once again, this is an time in history that has happened. The Canadian referee movement has really come leaps and bounds in the last couple of years. Lots of great refereeing in this country now, and we're all pretty proud to be able to have an all-Canadian WFPDA certified crew being able to referee this match.
I'm on Lotto anyways.
Doing the equipment checks right now. I'm seeing Kenny Whistler, Bonesy Adams in the parking lot, all from Toronto Roller Derby in the black and white stripes. Over on the other side, I am seeing Divine Intervention, Patricide, and Just Mo from Montreal Roller Derby. And I do believe the head ref of this game, the only game this weekend he will be on skates, that's No Pointer Ref, head reffing this game. He will be the tournament head ref for the home team tournament, which starts tomorrow bright and early at 8 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Daylight Savings Time. Slim, you're going to be on the mic in the venue. I'm going to be on the mic calling the game. We got to get up early in the morning to call these things. And again, we'd like to give a little shout out to Johnny Capote, the mastermind behind Canuck Derby TV. He is the one that keeps us moving, the one that moves us forward, the one that has brought the pictures and the sounds into your home while you sit there on your couch ready to watch sanctioned bout to get underway very shortly. If you have an opportunity to hit the donate button to Canuck Derby TV, you know Johnny will be thankful. And if you're watching the Beats of the East all weekend long, feel free to donate a little bit more because this tournament's totally worthwhile. Former Team Canada superstar jammer Iron Wench, and looks like wearing the star for the first time for CN Power tonight. That's Motorhead Molly, also a Team Canada skater in the past. So we've got double stars coming from the Team Canada, Slim. Game is underway. Iron Wench making her way through the pack very quickly, getting a very fast lead jam. That is Motorhead Molly being pinned down by the definitive cycling of the blockers at the new Skids on the block, knocked to the inside by Georgia W. Tush and Surgical Strike. Motorhead Molly having to come around again, Slim. Dinah Urchin moving Jess Bandit to the outside of the track. They're trying to pin blockers back to give Motorhead Molly room to break free out of the front of the pack. She does so. Iron Wench is back around the track and ready to score more points, Slim. Heading into the second jam, it looks like number 33, that's Bambi for CN Power going up against 8080. That is Greta Bobo for the Skids. Greta Bobo, a newish jammer for the Skids, but having a lot of success early in 2013. She is a rough and tumble jammer, and we'll see if she can get through this solid wall of neon pink, Slim. And we've got a first lead jammer for CN Power. That's Bambi taking an inside track on Greta Bobo, managing to get her hips past the blockers first, getting the lead jammer call from jammer ref Patricide. We've got a jammer race underway, Slim. And we're going to have to check and see how many points were scored. And I'm seeing 2 points indicated by Paterside, 1 for the Skids. So that means Bambi did pick up 1 point. That is a winning jam for CN Power. They put 2 points on the board. It's 9-8 early in this game, Slim. And the Skids once again going to their hard-working jammer, the Iron Wench, getting knocked down off the line. Dusty moving up the front. Dusty having knee problems last year, getting out the front. That's the CN Power getting lead jammer for the second time in a row, Slim. Yeah, CN Power showing good pack awareness, slowing down the pack so that the jammer can get around quickly. She's already picked up Smack Daddy's point. Dusty looking back to see if she needs to call it off. She does so, preventing the Iron Wench from scoring a 1-0 jam for CN Power. These moral victories are what they need early on in the game, Slim, so they can gain confidence and compete against what is considered the senior team in Canada, the New Skids. And we've got a jam underway. That's number 40, Georgia W. Tush, being held back by Bruceberry Pie, Betty Bomber, and Nasher the Smasher. At the front, pushing hard, number 905, Ballerina. I believe this is her first year with the Skids and doing a great job pushing. She's having trouble with chasing Amy and Little Mama. They've held her back. And on the outside, Georgia W. Tush with only 1 to beat, Slim. Yeah, CN Power's going to have to be very careful. Oh, massive hit by Chasing Amy, popping back and knocking Ballerina down. Clockwise block indicated by Paterside, and Little Mama going to the box for a minute for the Skids. Ballerina gets out, but not before Georgia W. Tush gets through the pack. She's got Bruceberry Pie to beat. Bruceberry Pie going to the box now. And Tush was looking to call it off, did not. She gets through, and looking at the jammer ref, Bonesy Adams. Not seeing any points yet, Slim, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, we're seeing 3 points being put up by Ballerina. Skids started at 9. We're just looking for an update on the score to see where we are at. There's 24 and a half minutes to go in this game. No points going up on the board yet. Bonesy Adams going over to check with the scorekeeper. Only 4 points on the board for Georgia W. Tisch. So we're looking at a 13-6, 7-point lead. Again, only 6 minutes into this game, but the CN Power has to be pretty pleased with where they're at against the tough-hitting Skids team. Iron Wench with lead jammer heading the box. That's Lady Gag. Penalty trouble for CN Power. That's something that they cannot afford. Iron Wench only with 1 blocker to beat out there. It's Dinah Hercha, who's a force on any good day, but not enough to stop the Iron Wench. 5 points. Motorhead Molly is out of the pack. Iron Wench with a nice hit on Nasher the Smasher, one of the top blockers for the CN Power. Skids putting points up on the board. They're at 22-6. 23 minutes to go in the first half. Not unexpected. Yeah, and considering that they have had multiple minutes with 2 blockers in the box, 4-on-2 pack advantages for the Skids. Knocked to the inside. That's Greta Bobo. Skating out the front, though. She's going to get lead jammer, not lead jammer. She must have passed somebody improperly. That means there's an opportunity for Bambi to get through. She's got Cheese Grater and Smack Daddy beat. Only Cheese left to go, Slim. Lead jammer is. But again, those are small moral victories which go a long way to building your confidence in this game. Often the Skids will absolutely blow you out in the early minutes of a game, only being down by 18 points with almost 10 minutes gone in the first half. Not bad for the CN Power. Lining up on the line, that looks like the Iron Wench, and I'm seeing number 2, Dusty, heading out there once again. Dusty working on an inside line. She's up against Surgical Strike. That's Majmoy Cool and the pivot, Jess Banda, and finding an inside line of her own. That's the Iron Wench getting lead jammer yet again for the new Skids on the block. The Neon Army looking ready to roll. Push to the outside. Jess Bandit knocks Dusty out on turn 2, but she also went out. Dusty able to come in without incurring a penalty. And the Iron Wench, little backward skating, hips past the foremost blocker. 4 points go in the air, 4 more points up on the board. The new Skids moving to 28-6 once the scoreboard updates. And we are ticking down to 20 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the first half of this game. Once again, we are working in a bare bones operation on the first night of Beast of the East. Streaming gets better as things go on, but we are just getting going. So we've got limited camera, limited voice options, but I'm hoping that you're enjoying the game at home. That's number 905, Ballerina, being absolutely smoked to the outside by Little Mama and Cheese Grater. And Greta Bobo being pushed to the outside, and that's going to be a track cut. That means we have the first power jam of the game, and that power jam is going to the CN Power.
Approaching the pack now, Ballerina, only one blocker in front of her. That is Cheese Grater. She has a grand slam.
And if you can hear the crowd in the background, this is a Montreal home game, but with all these home teams from across Ontario coming in to compete, CN Power has a lot of fans, and there's a ton of cheering. Cheese Grater getting an out of play blocking penalty. She's going to the box, and Ballerina's got 5 more points for CN Power.
Greta Bobo held up at the inside line by Bruceberry Pie. Bruceberry Pie going to work on Greta Bobo, continuing to bedevil her. Meanwhile, inside the pack, Ballerina. Inside once again, she is on another scoring pass. And that is an end to the jam.
And approaching the center of the pack, that is the coach, the manager of the new Skids on the block, Ewan Army, looking for clarifications. It looked like Greta Bobo was sent to the box and then was brought out of the box during that jam. So she's just looking for clarification. Points were put up on the board by CN Power. They're up to 20. Skids at 32. Looked like no satisfaction gained by Ewan Army. Now pointer ref calling for an official timeout. Looks like we may move to an official review, Slim.
That's right, with 19 minutes remaining, and this is only the first half of play. The CN Power at 20, the new Skids on the block at 32. That is closer than kissing cousins in terms of derby. It would be a simple matter of a heavy power jam for the CN Power to even eclipse the score of the new Skids on the block.
And if you're wondering who's in pink on the jammer line, that's Veloci Rainbow in from Toronto, the Roller Jets. West End Waywards coming here wearing the pink, doing an awesome job as an NSO. She'll be working hard all weekend long. And we're going to get a game back underway. 19 minutes to go in the first half. Iron Wench going up against Motorhead Molly once again. We've got a 3-on-2 pack advantage for CN Power. Let's see if that 3-wall is able to stop the Iron Wench, or if she's going to be able to blast her way through once again, Slim.
Iron Wench up on her toe stops. Now pushing herself into that pack, trying to legally put herself. She is knocked down at the back of the pack, forced to re-enter. That was Dinah Hercha doing work on the Iron Wench there. Meanwhile, at the front of the pack, Captain Lou.
That's Motorhead Molly getting lead jammer for CN Power. Motorhead Molly was getting absolutely mauled by the Iron Wench, but Dinah Hercha came in and put a nice hip on the Wench, moved her out of the way. Molly getting lead jammer. Wench is out of the pack now. Molly has made her way around, ready to score points, Slim.
Little Mama at the front of the pack has been in a war with various blockers from the CN Power. She is throwing her body around, trying to create opportunities for her jammer. Unfortunately, that jam is over, and really an impressive display of cohesive work from CN Power, Captain Lou.
Yeah, they've been putting on a fantastic show for the first 12 minutes of this game. And speaking of a fantastic show, at the pivot line, what is going on in this roller derby game? What are they doing way up there, Slim?
Unbelievable. They've left the jammer line unmolested and given some space to these jammers to pick up speed. And who has picked up speed but Bambi of CN Power? She is lead.
Georgia W. Tush is jamming for the Skids. Georgia W. Tush getting picked off by Bruceberry Pie. Smack Daddy knocked to the outside as well. Lots of hard-hitting action in this pack, Slim. Bodies hitting the floor.
Absolutely. Inter-pack hitting, reaching a frenetic pace. Penalty on the play. Betty Bomber goes to the sin bin. Georgia W. Tush skates on outside the pack. Meanwhile, inside the pack, Bambi has a two-wall to beat at the front, Captain Lou.
Bambi getting her hands to her hips, looking to her jam ref. She's picked up 3 more points. CN Power has crawled to within 10 points. It is a 9-point game. 17 minutes ago in the first half. Normally, you wouldn't think anyone would be excited about that, but you got to understand the Skids are the superpowers in Canadian roller derby. No one has been this close in a Canadian game against the Skids in years.
That is true, Captain Lou. The new Skids on the block, able to beat most Canadian roller derby teams by a comfortable margin of several, I'm not even kidding, several hundred points, and here we are, a single-digit difference.
But we have got ourselves a power jam going for the Skids, and they've got Iron Wench on the track. Not who CN Power would like to have out there. Iron Wench gets past Dinah Hercha. She's going to be your lead jammer. In the box is Dusty for CN Power, and heading to the box, that's Santa Muerte for CN Power as well.
That's right, Santa Muerte taking a back-blocking penalty. Iron Wench at the front beats Dinah Hercha and puts up a grand slam.
Skids looking to take advantage of this power jam, put some distance between the upstart CN Power. And Iron Wench coming around again. Tear apart, looking to pick her off on turn 4. Iron Wench too strong coming through. Tear apart's the one that hits the ground, and Iron Wench has another 5 points, Slim.
Iron Wench displaying tremendous agility and the ability to absorb a full-strength hit from Tear apart. Now dancing around Dinah Hercha, another 5 points for the new Skids on the block. The new Skids maybe starting to run their game, Captain Lou.
Yeah, CN Power starting to get their penalty box cleared. Dusty getting cycled way back as the Skids stretch out. Iron Wench working through the 3-wall that CN Power had left on the track. Iron Wench picking up another 5 points for the Skids. Power jam is over. Dusty moves through the front. Greta Bobo manages to cycle her back in, Slim.
That's right, Greta Bobo continuing to put the body on Dusty, and eventually the pack spreads out enough that she has to let her go. Dusty now skating in the free and open spaces, and the Iron Wench is inside the pack.
Iron Wench getting indication from her bench. She better check behind her. She does. Sees that Dusty is coming on, calls off the jam, but not before putting up a ton of points for the new Skids on the block. They put up 23 points, I believe, on that jam. 23 points, Slim.
That's right, 23 currently where the CN Power said the new Skids, extending their lead to 55. Tear apart as a result of the ferocious blocking she was forced to do on the previous jam. Will take a seat in the penalty area, and the CN Power skating one short.
Jamming for the first time in this game, but we've seen her with a star in her head before. That's Little Mama for the Skids. CN Power sent number 905 Ballerina out there. She's had a good day so far. She's racing against Smack Daddy. Smack Daddy unable to rein her in. She gets free, but Little Mama is approaching the back of the pack, Slim.
Little Mama up against Bruceberry Pie with a heavy heavy collision with Bruceberry Pie, and a back-blocking penalty results.
And Bruceberry does not go down easy, so you know the strength of that impact. Little Mama absolutely dropping her to the ground. 5 points indicated by Patricide. 5 points going on the board for Ballerina, and the CN Power chasing Amy for the Skids, going to the box for 1 minute.
Inside the pack, Ballerina up against Cheese Grater at the front. They let her go as a no-pack situation is declared, and that is a grand slam for the CN Power, Lou.
It sure is. That's 10 points so far in this Power Jam. Ballerina is around the track and ready for more. Tear apart for the CN Power has been released from the box. CN Power with all 4 blockers on the track. They're not playing patient derby at all. They're out there knocking blockers around. Smack Daddy again, unable to contain Ballerina. 5 more points. That moves CN Power to 15 on this Power Jam, Slim.
And Ballerina almost teleporting around the track. She is back and takes a hit from Smack Daddy and skates on. The new Skids on the block, as a result of penalty trouble, are few and far between to stop the advance of Ballerina.
Yeah, CN Power and the Skids trading Power Jams, but CN Power getting the better of this one. 25 points put up on the board by Ballerina. Lots of chaos in the pack as the blockers have pretty much cleared out. Only Chasing Amy left in the box. Little Mama comes through the front of the pack, picking up 4 points of her own for the Skids. Ballerina through one more time. 4 more points on the board. CN Power has closed the gap once again, Slim.
A huge cheer goes up. As you mentioned earlier, Captain Lou, we are in Montreal. However, a cosmopolitan crowd from all over the Eastern Ontario and Quebec Derby world, and they're loving an underdog this evening.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they don't like the new Skids on the block. Everybody loves the ladies from Montreal. They are our heroes. They carry the Canadian flag wherever they go. But you know, everyone loves that underdog, and to see CN Power doing so well to bring themselves up to the level of the Skids. 12 minutes to go in the first half. They are still in this game, something that we honestly cannot say happens often against the Skids, and really never in Canadian roller derby.
Absolutely. Proud moments here for the CN Power. An adjustment to the score. CN Power just put up another point, 52-59. These teams 7 points apart. Just really a pass and a half, Captain Lou. And I think the CN Power feeling good about what they've done in the first half of this competition.
CN Power should be feeling good about the first half of this competition. They really are starting to believe in themselves, and that could be really dangerous for the Skids. The CN Power all of a sudden believe that they can compete one-on-one with the ladies in neon, and maybe the neon pink that come out on top in this game. But, I don't know, Montreal's a tough team, Slim.
Oh, I think Montreal may have some more tricks up their sleeve, Captain Lou. Absolutely. And it looks like they have reset the skaters on the track, and we're ready to start again. Just about 12 and a half minutes remaining, and there's a whole nother half.
A whole nother half. Exciting game so far in this Friday preview game of Beast of the East WFTD action. Motorhead Molly sidling her way sideways through her back wall of pink. Stuck at the back is the Iron Wench. CN Power doing a great job of controlling her, Slim.
And indeed, lead jammer for Motorhead Molly of the CN Power. You see her there in the pink, and she is flying, although the Iron Wench has escaped the pack also.
Yeah, Motorhead Molly, former skater for the Tri-City Thunder, moving to CN Power this year, having to do with changing the location of her address in the country, picking up 4 points, bringing CN Power to within 3 points of the new Skids on the block. Motorhead Molly having a great game when she played against the Ohio Roller Girls. Apparently jammed very well against a closed game in Windy City a couple weekends ago, and having a good game tonight too, Slim.
Absolutely. They put Bambi on the track to jam for them in this jam. Number 33 there in the pink, that is Bambi. And like you said, Captain Lou, 3-point separation. Here they go.
Looks like Greta Bobo as a star again. She gets knocked out of bounds by Pantyhose. Greta Bobo stuck way at the back, pushing up at the front. That's Bambi being held by Chasing Amy. And through on the inside, Slim. Who's that?
Greta Bobo scooting through on the inside. She is lead. Bambi has also escaped the pack, but she has half a track to go to catch up with Greta Bobo.
The Skids have to be careful they don't get too frustrated with the fact that CN Power is competing with them one-on-one. We're going to have to see what happens here. Hard hit to the outside. Bruceberry Pie knocking her down. 3 points to 3 points. Bambi sneaking through, tying up the jam. The score says 59 to 59. It's really going to be 59 to 62 once the points go up on the board for the Skids. But the crowd went wild when they saw the score was tied for a second there, Slim.
Absolutely. I just looked over at Professor Rex, and he mouthed something to me in approval of CN Power, which I cannot repeat on this broadcast, but he was pretty darn impressed.
I'm pretty darn impressed, too. That's Dusty moving through on the inside. She's already got lead jammer again against Iron Winch. The Skids jamming the Iron Winch again and again, and Iron Winch not having the success she's used to. Dusty holding off the Iron Winch. We're down under the 10-minute mark, Slim.
Iron Winch has been defended by some of the finest players in this game, and she is having very little luck against this extremely energized and confident CN Power core.
Yeah, if you've ever seen the jammer, the Iron Winch jam, she does not mess around. She's a tough lady to hold. She's agile. She can move through gaps. She can make her own holes. She's one of the top jammers in Canada. If I had to pick one in Canada who is the best jammer in our country, I would go with the Iron Winch. And somehow CN Power has been holding her back in the last half of this first half.
It could be CN Power has been watching some video. They've certainly put together a plan to keep them in the running in the first half of this bout. Captain Lou, what's happening?
Ballerina skipping her way past Smack Daddy, getting past Little Mama. She's lead jammer. Coming out right behind her is Greta Bobo. Ballerina looking back, not willing to tussle with the Skids jammer, calling off the jam. 0-0, Slim.
Yep, nothing neither way on that jam. The score remains at 62 new Skids. The CN Power is surprisingly competitive, 59 with just under 9 minutes remaining in the first half.
Well, I know CN Power is going to be pretty pleased with that. I talked to their manager a couple days ago, and he was hoping to keep it close. I would say that this game comes under the definition of close right now, Slim. 3-point game.
Absolutely. The crowd absolutely electrified, and the action begins again. Iron Wench skating again for the Skids, and it looks like we have a new jammer for CN Power. No, it is Motorhead Molly.
Iron Wench not to be denied. She will be your lead jammer in this jam. Motorhead Molly finding a line on the inside, though. She's out as well. She'll be able to slow down the bleeding, but she's going to have a tough task catching up with the Wench.
Motorhead Molly with a giant stride stepped over the falling body of Georgia W. Tush, but she, you're right, is quite a ways behind the Iron Wench, although the Iron Wench is taking a beating at the front of the pack and decides to call it off.
Yeah, Dinah Hercha and Tara Park did a good job of trying to slow her down. Dinah Hercha holding to the Iron Wench to only 2 points. The Skids move their lead to 5 points with 7.5 minutes to go in the first half. We've got Little Mama wearing the hat, the jammer cap once again for the Skids, and that's number 33, Bambi, for CN Power.
Both of these ladies diminutive yet powerful. A little chatting on the jammer line as both teams have decided to scrunch up in that more traditional rugby start we've seen of late.
I would think that start would favor Little Mama, but she is being held back by the tough blocking of CN Power.
Both jammers firmly ensconced within the pack. Neither has yet emerged. Bambi takes some hits there, using her blockers as handholds, and Little Mama recycled to the back.
And Bambi also recycled to the back. Little Mama is pushing through the front. This pack is very spread out. They're going to have to be careful that we don't get out of plays or destruction calls. Lead jammer, not lead jammer. That's Little Mama heading to the box, Slim.
Absolutely technical blocking play from CN Power ensured that they were able to trick Little Mama into that cutting penalty. Away she goes to the penalty box. And that means, oh, what is happening now, Captain Lou?
We also have a track cut going to Bambi. We're going to get a jammer swap out. The crowd was going absolutely nuts, thinking CN Power had an opportunity to take the lead. Instead, Little Mama's going to be coming back on the track. And we will probably, well, we're going to have a 2-minute jam. We're going to have to see who can put the points up on the board, Slim.
Absolutely. Little Mama back on the track. The tables having turned. Little Mama throwing her body into the wall of CN Power there. And she has 2 to beat at the front of the pack. Nasha, the smasher. She falls in turn number 4 there. Bambi back on the track now.
That's Nasher, the smasher, trying to knock Little Mama out of bounds. Little Mama noticing that Nasher went out of bounds as well, but unsure if it's going to be a track cut. I don't believe it would have been, but Nasher able to bring Little Mama all the way back. And now Bambi is also going to have to cycle back, Slim.
Nasha, the smasher, reeling back. Little Mama, although both jammers are now inside the pack, both of them have endured some punishment here. Chasing Amy throws a last late hit on Bambi as the jam comes to a close.
And at the end of that jam, both jammer refs putting their fists in the air, indicating that nobody picked up points. A full 2 minutes, and nobody putting points up on the board, indicative of the action in this game, indicative of the defense that both teams are throwing down. Jammers having trouble getting points out there, Slim.
Absolutely, Captain Lou. Nothing on the scoreboard. All of it on the track. All of it 100% roller derby.
And speaking on the track, that's Dusty pushing up against Mangemois and Jess Bandit. They've got to let her go. She's lead jammer. Iron Wench stuck in the pack. She's got Santa Muerte and Lady Gaggy at the beat. We've got a clockwise block being indicated. No, that was not a play to Mangemois and Cool. We've got penalty problems for the Skids, and that is the advantage to the CN Power, Slim.
Absolutely. Although it looks like Lady Gaggy is going to head to the penalty box also. And 4 points put up there for CN Power before James end.
And 4 points given and a 5-point lead means we are down to one single solitary point with 4 minutes to go. CN Power trailing by 1 point. The new Skids on the block reeling as time ticks down in the first half, Slim.
That's right. Looks like just under 4 minutes remaining. New Skids on the block with 2 in the box. CN Power with 1. And the action is underway once again. Georgia W. Tush jamming for the Skids. And she is jamming solo.
Yeah, going straight to the box. That was a ballerina. I did not see what the penalty was. But we've got a power jam for the Skids. The Skids need to put the hammer down, put the pedal to the metal, put the points up on the board, and put some distance between this Toronto team that's been playing out of their weight class, but banging away with full effect.
Now the Skids receive some reinforcements as Cheese Grater and Trash and Smash return from the penalty box, although they are replaced. Georgia W. Tush is through for a grand slam.
That's right, Bruceberry Pie unable to get Tush out of bounds. They're cycling back for another shot at her. Nasher the Smasher being dragged all the way back.
Betty Bomber, Bruceberry Pie going to work on Georgia W. Tush. She fights her way through them, but they've held her up for a few valuable seconds as she puts up a grand slam. Lady Gaggy returning from the box there.
So 4-on-3 pack advantage for the Skids, but the person they really need, a 4-on-3 pack advantage for the CN Power, the person they really need is Ballerina, who has come out of the box. Ballerina blasting through both Surgical Strike and Cheese Grater. She's escaped from the pack, and now Georgia W. Tush is going to have to be careful because Ballerina is approaching the back. She may be able to put points up. I don't see Tush sees her. She does just in time. 0 for CN Power. Another 3, 2.
A matter of a half second would have put up a point for the CN Power, but it was the fact that her hips did not pass the hips of the opposing skater. With just under 2 minutes remaining, the new Skids on the block at 81 to CN Power's 63.
So a 17-point power jam for the Skids. Georgia W. Tush taking the ball and running with it. 63 to 81, and we've got Motorhead Molly and coming through the front of the pack for the Skids. That's number 516, the Iron Wench.
The Iron Wench appearing unperturbed by events previous in the game. That is her style. She is a very smooth skater. Motorhead Molly now receiving punishment at the front of the pack as the Iron Wench approaches and is on her scoring pass, Captain Lou.
Yeah, Iron Wench in the pack, knocked to the ground, and Motorhead Molly unable to get through. Fantastic vertical blocking by Ray Volver and Jess Bandit. Was Molly Cool looking for an opportunity. We've got a forearm major So this is back-to-back power jams. The Skids are going to have an opportunity to put a bunch of points on the board before we go into this half.
An unfortunate circumstance for the CN Power. They'd showed a great deal of moxie in the first half of the contest, but with a power jam to finish off the first period, the Iron Wench is going to work.
Yeah, perhaps a bit too exuberant in their efforts. Iron Wench putting 5 points up on the board. She's got over a minute to go in this jam. Time ticking down on the period. So I suspect this will be the last jam of the half. And the Iron Wench once again going to work, doing what she does best, juking and jiving her way through the pack. 5 more points, Slim.
Iron Wench exhibiting the form we've seen from her before. Her teammates conga lining off to one side and CN Power forming a wall, which she immediately collides with.
Smack Daddy looking to provide some assists. Ray Volver moving Tara Park to the outside. They've got themselves a good old-fashioned goat, and that means the Iron Wench is going to get through for 5 more roller derby points.
The new Skids on the block approaching the 100-point mark. Yes, now up to 101 as they lock things down to finish off the first half of play. Iron Wench struggling against a front wall, and that is it. She calls it off.
Iron Wench calling it off. We've run out of time in the first half. What was a 1-point game has moved to a score of 101 to 63, a 38-point lead for the Skids. Well, you know, I have to say, Slim, I would bet that if CN Power was asked before this game, if you could be down by 38 points at the half, would you be happy? I think pretty much everyone on that team would have said they would be.
You know, you wish you were a fly on the wall in the locker room for the speeches that are going to happen during halftime for these two teams. I suspect those speeches will have very different flavors.
I suspect you're right. Having coached in the past and having been on the receiving end of either side of these kinds of scores, CN Power's got to be pretty proud of what they've done. The Skids have to be pleased that they were able to pull this game back in control in the dying minutes of the first half. But to be within 38 points, I don't know, Slim. Skids are probably going to need a stern talking to, and I expect them to come out flying in the second half.
I imagine you're right, Captain Lou. If you're watching at home on Canuck Derby TV, click that donate button before you go take a break. But take a break is what we're going to do, and we will see you back here very shortly.
Montreal, Quebec, Canada at the Arena St. Louis with a barn burner of a WFDDA sanctioned bout. Lightning Slim. I'm Captain Lou Alabama. What do you think about that first half, Slim? They've been hanging tough. And the new Skids won't be happy about that, will they at all? No, 101-63, a 38-point lead with 4 minutes to go in the first half. It was a 1-point game. Back-to-back power jams allowed the Skids to widen their lead at the half to 38 points. But if I am the Montreal travel team, I'm not pleased with the results on the scoreboard. I'm not. And in addition to that, with what you were talking about, Slim, that means that CN Power is going to have to be careful with their exuberance, especially with their jammers. Their jammers with a lot of success in that first half, but at the end getting a little bit careless, going to the box twice in a row, giving the window of opportunity that the Skids needed in order to widen this lead. They need to stay on the track in order to keep this game under control. They have done a great job when they have been out there. They've controlled this. They've controlled the scoring of the Skids jammers, but when they're in the box, they can't help their team, Slim. Power jams kill, penalties kill, and CN Power, if they want a chance to stay in this game, need to stay out of that box. So we're going to get a quick little equipment check by the referees on the skaters. Make sure that no one left their wrist guards, their elbow pads, and their helmets in the dressing room. Just a cursory check, and that means very shortly we're going to see another 30 minutes of hot roller derby action in Montreal. Again, this is the evening before the epic Montreal Beast of the East 2013, the 6th annual home team tournament. An absolutely fantastic event, and this, as a preview of that action, has been amazing. Second half ready to get underway. 5-on-5 roller derby action. Once again, we're starting off like we did the first half. Motorhead Molly for CN Power. That's the Iron Wench trying to push her way through for the Skids. Both jammers trapped in the pack momentarily, Slim. Iron Wench getting lead jammer. Jess Bandit, the only person that Motorhead Molly has to beat, but suddenly blockers from the Skids trying to recycle. They're unsuccessful. Motorhead Molly showing her speed, escaping from the pack, but approaching the back. That is the Iron Wench. So one jam in, we're looking at 104 for for new Skids on the block. 3 points added in that jam. 63 for CN Power. And we're going to get Greta Bobo going up against Bambi for CN Power. Once again, nobody in the box. Lots of blockers on the track. The blockers have been doing a fantastic job of cycling those jammers back and forth. Also, lots of contact amongst each other. Bodies hitting the floor with great regularity in the first half. That's Nasher the Smasher and Bruceberry Pie doing a number on Greta Bobo at the front. One of the stars of the first half we did not get to talk enough about was Betty Bomber. She tries to bridge, unsuccessful. Greta Bobo getting lead jammer, Slim.
Greta Bobo now, yep, a full lap ahead of her opponent. Bambi receiving a track-cutting penalty. Bonesy Adams calling the penalty there. And Bambi has been sent off as the jam comes to a close. That means the new Skids on the block will begin the next jam in a power jam situation.
That's right. Greta Bobo, unaware that Bambi was heading to the penalty box, made her way through the pack, picked up 5 points, but called off the jam. And the Skids have moved to 108. Looks like she only picked up 4 points on that jam. So 108 for the new Skids on the block, 63 for CN Power. Skids starting this jam on a power jam, and it's going to be the Iron Wench wearing the star, Slim.
Perhaps unsurprisingly, Captain Lou, the Iron Wench, one of the more powerful jammers of her generation. Oh, however, knocked down by Dinah Hercha.
An amazing awareness by the Iron Wench, realizing that her hand had dragged through the inside of that apex. If she had stood, it would have been a track cut, crawling to the inside, cycling herself to the back, makes her way through the pack very quickly, gets lead jammer, and she's back around for points, Slim.
Absolutely, although I don't want to take away from that beautiful flick of the hip that Dinah Hercha gave the Iron Wench. That has not deterred her progress, and a grand slam. Penalty on the play. Lady Gaga goes to the box. Oh, and Smack Daddy.
And lots of contact in the pack. Iron Wench forcing her way through. That's 5 points on the board for the Skids. Bambi is out of the box, forced to the outside by Surgical Strike. She's got a solid wall of green neon in front of her. Once again, the Skids in their typical neon green, and CN Power wearing neon pink.
Munchmob Cool goes to the penalty box. Bambi now skating free, but it is a grand slam by the Iron Wench, being cheered by the crowd. Both jammers. The Iron Wench does not see that Bambi is sneaking up behind her as they approach the pack.
Iron Wench quickly with hands on her hips. Bambi cutting through the pack, not getting any points. No points for either side, but the Iron Wench allowing the Skids to increase their lead to 124 to 63. 26 minutes ago in this game, Slim.
The crowd erupts. They think perhaps Bambi had earned a point or two on that jam. No change to the score, however, as we get back to things on the jammer line.
We've got Greta Bobo going up against number 2, Dusty from CN Power. Dusty finding an inside line. That inside line was a bit too inside. That's a track cut. Once again, going to the penalty box is the CN Power jammer. And once again, it's a power jam for the Skids. Irrational exuberance perhaps affecting CN Power.
Yes, indeed, the CN Power after a strong start, maybe getting a bit of the yips and the jitters here. And a power jam, as the jam is called off, will get fresh legs back on the track. And to no one's surprise, the Iron Wench is put into play by the new Skids.
Every opportunity that the Skids have, they are getting number 516, number 516. So that's the Iron Wench, Team Canada skater. Skated against Team USA in the World Cup final. Had a great game there, having a great game today. She's lead jammer and ready to put points on the board for the Skids.
That's right. Nifty moves got her through the pack, and she's showing even more of them inside on her scoring pass. Tries to get past, tear apart. Lady Gaga stops her there. However, multiplayer block being assessed there, and the Iron Wench skates on.
The multiplayer block was assessed, but skater hasn't left the track. Patricide looking to send somebody off. I believe that's number 1205, Rennie Rumble. Slim and I missed introducing her in the front. At the beginning of this game, she was an alt. I believe Jubilee is sitting out instead. But Rennie Rumble doing a great job going to the box on the multiplayer block. 5 more points for the Iron Wench. Skids continue to add to the score, Slim.
That's right, a spread out pack. The Iron Wench up against a wall of pink at the front of the pack. doing what she does so well, which is squeeze herself through the wall of the opponent without incurring a penalty. Another grand slam to the Iron Wench.
And with that grand slam, the power jam is over. Dusty has escaped from the penalty box, but she has not escaped from the box or the pack. She's got Jess Bandit to beat. Jess Bandit picking out an out-of-play block. She'll go to the box for 1 minute. Dusty is free, but not before the Iron Wench is through for another 4 points. 5 points. 5 more points indicated by Patricide. 5 more points going to board for the New Skids. They have extended their lead dramatically in the early minutes of the second half, Slim.
There was no way the Iron Wench was going to allow Dusty to complete that second pass and pick up any points, considering the New Skids on the block had established that lead. And with 23 minutes remaining, like you said, 144 to 63, CN Power maybe a little deflated from their exuberant performance in the first half, but we'll see what happens next.
Yeah, they're going to have to be careful that they don't let this game get away on them. Up at the front, forcing her way through. That is Georgia W. Tush, but Nasher the Smasher, Bruceberry Pie, and Pantyhose are doing a good job of holding her back. Not good enough. She's your lead jammer, and Ballerina being forced out of bounds on turn 3 and 4, escaping the pack as well. Tush coming around to score, Slim.
Ballerina now skating free, but it is Tush inside the pack. Tush, with a little skip over the apex, takes a heavy hit from Bruceberry Pie and calls off the jam.
Bruceberry Pie doing a great job to limit the scoring to only 3, saves her team a point. CN Power unable to score in the first 8 minutes of this second half. They put up 63 in the first half. The Skids have moved their score to 147. What was a 38-point lead 8 minutes ago is now at 84 points. Skids doing what they do best, putting points up on the board while blocking the jammers and shutting them down.
Absolutely. The New Skids on the block, well known as a shutdown team, able to play offense and defense at the same time. However, Motorhead Molly, lead jammer for CN Power. Away she goes.
Nice agility work by Molly on the outside, doing a little toe stop hop to be able to get past that pack of neon green. We've got a track cut at the back. Greta Bobo cycling Santa Muerte out for a penalty. Out of the pack is Iron Wench, but Motorhead Molly only has 1 to beat. That one is Surgical Strike, who fires it to the outside. Motorhead Molly's going to call it off, picking up 3 points for CN Power. First points of the half. We'll see if this inspires CN Power to bring back the game that they had in the first 30 minutes of this game, Slim.
A little bit of life, Captain Lou, on the bench of CN Power. They look pretty happy. Santa Muerte sent to the penalty area for her performance in the previous jam. She does not look unhappy, however, because she knows she helped pick up those 3 points for her team.
Jamming on the jammer line, wearing green, that's Little Mama for the Skids, and in pink, that's number 33, Bambi. Number 33 getting worked over at the back. Nasher the Smasher putting Little Mama out, but getting absolutely smoked by Smack Daddy. And that means Little Mama was able to get out of the front, but cycled back by the CN Power jammers, blockers. Now she's lead. Little Mama is lead, and Bambi's still stuck in the pack, Slim.
That's right, Little Mama now approaching the pack. Bambi having some difficulty. Little Mama, cuts around her opponent, runs into Bruceberry Pie up against a 3-wall. Multiplayer block assessed against CN Power.
Yeah, that's Betty Bomber going to the box for CN Power. They've got Santa Muerte in the box. They've only got 2 blockers out there. Bambi has escaped from the pack, but Nasher and Bruceberry Pie have forced a track cut on Little Mama. That means we've got ourselves a power jam. We'll go for the full 2 minutes. There's still a minute left in this jam, and Bambi is going to have an opportunity to get CN Power back to within striking distance.
Cheese Spreader heads to the penalty box. That means Bambi skating in the free and open spaces with 5 points to her name. How much gas is left in the tank after she's taken so much physical punishment? She approaches the pack once again. It is Smack Daddy she runs up against. However, she is through.
And Bambi cannot call this off. She is not lead jammer. She's going to have to skate for another 30 seconds. She's put 10 points up on the board for CN Power. She's back for more. She's got Chasing Amy to beat. She moves through on the outside, picks up another 5 points. She's put 15 points on the board for CN Power. Bambi looking absolutely exhausted after the beating she's taken from the blockers of the Skids, but the Skids with tons of penalty trouble right now.
Bruceberry Pie slips and falls, is unable to protect her jammer. Chasing Amy consequently puts a hit on Bambi, and Bruceberry Pie takes a penalty.
Yeah, Bruceberry Pie a little too vigorous with her forearms on that hit. Too much follow through, but CN Power pulling themselves up to 86 on the scoreboard. 151 for the new Skids on the block. 18 and a half minutes to go in this game, and this will be a power start for CN Power. Little Mama standing in the box, but the only jammer on the track at the beginning of this jam will be Dusty for CN Power.
Dusty with an opportunity here. She immediately goes to the front of the pack. She's up against Georgia W. Tush, acting in a blocking role. Scoots around to the outside, and lead jammer is Dusty of CN Power.
Out of the box with Little Mama, she approaches that pink wall, trying to get her way through, tear apart Lady Gaga, and Dinah Hertz trying to contain her, unable to do so. Dusty has come around. She's picking up points for CN Power. She's going to have to be careful as Little Mama has escaped. Little Mama on a scoring pass as well. Surgical, it's Jess Bandit doing a great job on Jess Bandit. High block to Georgia W. Tush. 4 points on the board for CN Power. Dusty holding her face after taking that hit. But CN Power creeping their way back into the Slim.
And Dusty, after taking that high block, immediately called off the jam. That means she will have fresh legs on the track. And CN Power now at 91. The new Skids on the block 151. Actually, a smaller deficit than many of us expected at the beginning of this game, with 17 minutes remaining in the second half. Captain Lou.
And coming through on the outside with great vim and vigor, that is number 905, Ballerina, getting lead jammer for CN Power once again. Iron Wench finding her way through the pack as well. She will have to make up some ground. Ballerina's coming around. She's got surgical strike on the outside. She's past her. Quick feet gets her through the pack. 4 points indicated by her jammer ref. 4 more points on the board for CN Power. They close the gap from 60 to 56, and we've got ourselves a timeout first for the new Skids on the block.
And CN Power going for 4 and the door on that pass. Excellent technical play from them. They obviously have not given up the ghost on this bout. 16 and a half minutes remaining, Captain Lou, and more points being awarded. Change to the score. 151 new Skids on the block. The CN Power 95.
16 minutes and 35 seconds to go in this game. If you're wondering who's moving the camera around so that you can actually see what's going on, that's Skanky from the Horny Bitches. You gotta give it up for Skanky, because if she wasn't here, you'd just have a blank screen and Slim and I talking on the microphone. Once again, we'll give some thanks to Mr. Johnny Capote and Canuck Derby TV. We're doing this on a shoestring budget and keeping everything together with duct tape. Promise you it'll look a little bit better tomorrow, but you gotta be happy with what you're getting tonight. Free roller derby action on a Friday. New Skids on the block. CN Power, Montreal versus Toronto, Slim.
Absolutely, the rivalry that transcends whatever particular sport you happen to be playing. And right now, it is women's flat track roller derby, which I personally think might be the best sport in the entire world. And here comes Motorhead Molly at the very front of the pack.
Going to the box, that's surgical strike. Jess Bandit able to cycle Motorhead Molly to the back. Getting through the front is Iron Wench. Motorhead Molly looking to come through on the outside. Only Jess Bandit to beat. Jess with a nice stop block, but unable to contain Molly. Molly's free. Iron Wench ready to score, Slim.
Iron Wench approaches the pack inside, however, runs up against the wall in pink at the front. Iron Wench, number 516. And Motorhead Molly sneaks through to the inside line.
Motorhead Molly stealing 4 points from under the nose of the Wench. The Wench has been unable to get through this pack. She's looking back to see Molly. We'll see how many points that she picked up as well. Only 3. That is a win for CN Power. 1 extra point going up on the board. 154 to 99 with 15 and a half minutes to go in this game, Slim.
Certainly not an insurmountable difference in score in terms of modern roller derby. A couple of power jams could certainly change that situation in CN Power's favor. I don't think the Iron Wench was aware of the steal that happened and the 4 points that have been scored against her. And here we go again. Bambi skating for the CN Power.
Very light pack for the Skids out there. 4-on-2 pack advantage. Bambi trying to take advantage of that. Chasing Amy, the only person to beat. Cheese Grater trying to cycle up to provide assistance. And pushing through the front, that's Greta Bobo. Is she going to get out, Slim?
Chasing Amy was absolutely glued to Bambi throughout the first part of this jam. However, Bambi emerges as the lead jammer, and Greta Bobo has problems.
Oh, and some amazing recycling by the CN Power blockers coming out of nowhere to slow Greta Bobo down. It looked like Greta Bobo was going to be able to break free. Bambi coming through, calling off the jam. No points up on the board. The Skids bench raising their arms in disapproval. No calls being made. Whistles on the play. Jam is done. Still 154-99.
And we've seen this before, Captain Lou, even in this very bout, that sometimes the most difficult jams yield no change in the scoreboard.
So we've got Ewan Watt Army, the coach of the new Skids, going to the center to discuss things with Null Pointer ref. He is asking for an official review. That is the Reverend Ramirez. A PhD, by the way, the doctor, Reverend Ramirez, heading out there for CN Power. Ewan Watt Army will present the argument that perhaps Bambi may have picked up a penalty at the end of that jam. I believe the Skids think that there was a low block as Bambi came through the apex. And I think they want a power jam out of this, Slim. I believe that's what the argument is. We'll see if we can find out any clarification. But until this crowd dies down a bit, I don't think they're going to quiet down. We can't really hear what's happening with the house announcers, so we're just going to speculate up here.
That's right. Not much chance of us getting accurate information through the wall of noise presented by the very enthusiastic crowd here in Montreal this evening.
So we have a very knowledgeable Derby crowd here. A large majority of the people in the crowd are players who will be playing in the tournament tomorrow. The Beast of the East starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. 8 o'clock in the morning. Who gets up at 8 o'clock in the morning to play roller derby? Who gets up at 8 o'clock in the morning to announce roller derby? Slim, who?
It is unfortunately, Captain Lou, going to be both you and I, amongst other dedicated people who are loving the sport so much that, we're going to give some of the beauty sleep, we're going to give some of the party time tonight. And for one or the other of these teams, there will be a party. Because this is a hard-fought contest between two elite teams in Canadian roller derby.
And an interesting thing about both of these teams is that both of these teams are, the skaters on both these teams skate for these teams. They do not skate on their home teams. They do not play for their home teams. They are travel team skaters. So tomorrow being a home team tournament, these skaters don't have to worry about saving anything to try to win the Beast. They can give their absolute all the entire game long. And I think we've seen that so far.
Absolutely, Captain Lou. No one has, left anything off the track, held anything back. I think our viewers at home can see that we have seen fantastic blocking, wonderful jamming, just great flat track roller derby. And here we go.
So it looks like there will be no satisfaction for Ewan Watt Army. The game is going to get back underway. Veloci Rainbow indicating that the next whistle will start the jam. And we're going to see Dusty going up against, I believe that is Greta Bobo. Or is that the Iron Wench? No, that is the Iron Wench once again doing a stellar job of getting lead jammer. And she has been on the track at least every second jam, Slim, if not more.
Iron Wench, an all-day jammer, if ever there was one, and she is going to work. And we see, I thought that was a penalty to the CN Power Jammer. Not so, however, the Iron Wench is at the front of the pack. She's underscoring pass, and she calls off the jam.
And Wentz calling off that jam just in time. Dusty with an aw shucks wave of her arm, thinking that maybe she had picked something up, but unsuccessful. 4-0 for the Skids. Skids moved to 158-99. 13 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the game, Slim.
No amount of quit in the CN Power. They showed some moxie in the first half, and they definitely want to close that deficit as the action begins again. A seething, roiling mass inside the pack.
Coming out the front, that's Ballerina managing to stay in bounds. Cheese Grater unsuccessful in containing her. Lead Jammer goes to CN Power and stuck in the pack, knocked down to the ground. That is Georgia W. Tush for the Skids.
This crowd very happy to see a competitive team being fielded against the new Skids on the block. They're even cheering for Ballerina of the CN Power. Not traditional in Montreal to cheer for anybody from Toronto. And Ballerina inside the pack and scoring points.
Ballerina with a nice and timely call. No points put on the board for the Skids, and we're going to see what's going on. We got Bonesy Adam asking a question of his outside pack ref, Divine Intervention, looking for clarification. Was there a penalty on the call? There was not. 4 points go on the board for the CN Power. They break the triple-digit mark. They're past 100. They go to 103. New Skids on the block at 158. We've got another jam into the way, Slim.
That's right. Excellent communication between officials to establish what the official score was. Meanwhile, on the track, Motorhead Molly is lead jammer.
Lead jammer for Motorhead. No, she's not lead jammer. What is going on? Yes, Bonesy Adams is miles behind his lead jammer. And Iron Wench coming on hard. Motorhead Molly going to have to call it off. We're going to get double fists in the air. No points on that. That's a wash. But again, CN Power keeping the score to within 55 points. 158, 103, 11 minutes to go in this game. They're within striking distance. They aren't even down by 2-1. They have to be happy with this result, Slim.
Absolutely. Captain Lou, 11 minutes remaining. CN Power have done everything in their power to keep themselves very, very competitive within this bout. And here they are trying to strike again.
And speaking of competitive, knocked to the outside, Georgia W. Tush absolutely destroyed by Nash of the Smasher. Another hard hit by Bruceberry Pie, but she's going to fight her way through the pack to get lead jammer for the Skids.
Georgia W. Tush, lead jammer, skating in the free and open spaces. Oh, Bambi with a heavy collision there, and she may have drawn a penalty. And that is a back blocking penalty. Yes, Bambi will go. This is a power jam for the new Skids on the block.
And you know, there's still 10 minutes left in this game. That might be the nail in the coffin for CN Power. CN Power did not need to give up another power jam. Georgia W. Tush hasn't jammed a ton in this game. She's got fairly fresh legs, and we're going to see how many points she can put up on the board. Hard blocking on the part of the pink core from CN Power.
Bruceberry Pie collides with Chasing Emmy. Chasing Emmy receives the penalty. Georgia W. Tush skates on through the pack for a grand slam, and she's coming around the mountain for another one. Her teammates off to one side.
And Skids faking the patient offense. Cheese Grater running into the mix, forcing a churn in the pack. Lots of contact going on as Georgia W. Tush attempts to go through. Cheese Grater takes a knee in order to drop herself back. They've got Betty Bomber trapped at the back of the pack. 5 more points for Georgia W. Tush, and going to the box for blocking out a play. That's Bruceberry Pie for the CN Power.
Georgia W. Tush approaches the pack once again. She has a wall in front of her. It's a wall of green. It's her own blockers, and they bust up the wall of CN Power. However, Nasha the Smasher, who has been tremendous all evening for CN Power, puts the hip to Georgia W. Tush and causes her to call off the jam.
And coming to the middle, I've got the Reverend Ramirez indicating he wants a timeout. The question is this just a timeout to regroup his troops, to get them reorganized to fight the last 9 minutes of this game, or are we looking for an official review? By all indications, it looks like the Reverend has asked for an official review. UN World Army is in there. The Reverend's explaining what he's looking for. I got to be honest with you, Slim. I didn't see anything in there that needed reviewing, but the Reverend's an experienced coach. I'm sure he's got something he's going to try to pull and try to get a penalty drawn on the Skids.
The Reverend, with great gesticulation, as you said, Captain Lou, obviously has something specific in mind. The action so fast and furious on the track, you and I could not detect it. However, seems to have been solved in fairly short order as the skaters return to the track.
Yeah, short discussion going on, a tiny zebra huddle looking for clarification on what the Reverend had asked for. We're going to see if he gets any satisfaction at all from this. You and What Army and the Skids having their review used up already this half, getting no satisfaction on their part. It can be tough to get the referees to agree with what you thought that you saw, but you know, it's always worth the effort, Slim.
Just under 9 minutes remaining, 8:53 time on the clock. CN Power 103, New Skids on the block of Montreal Roller Derby 177.
You know, Slim, I was talking with the Derby nerd earlier in the week, and we both agreed that if CN Power could walk out of this game with a 2-1 score deficit, we would consider that to be a victory on the part of CN Power. Rankings-wise, it's not the best result that they could possibly get, but quite honestly, I don't think anybody here expected that CN Power would be within 74 points of the Skids with 9 minutes to go in this game.
Captain Lou, I think you're right. I think CN Power are shooting for the better results. And if they continue to play as they have played throughout the rest of this contest, you know, better things are within their reach.
And as everybody out there in roller derby land knows, the key to keeping this game to within reach has to be that the jammers of the CN Power have to stay out of the box. Skids have been absolutely merciless, as is expected. Every time a star in pink has sat down in that sin bin, they need to have their score on the track, Slim.
That's right. Minus the power jam situations, CN Power has been rock steady and has held stride with the New Skids on the block. Let's see what happens now.
Quickly through the front of the pack, number 516 is the Iron Wench. Also finding her way is Dusty, number 2 for CN Power. Dusty, an absolute speed demon, giving chase to the Iron Wench. She's right on her tail. Jammer on jammer contact going on at the back of the pack.
Dusty harassing the Iron Wench, trying to force her to call off the jam or even overtake her. And a bit of a collision there as they approach the pack.
That's right, the Iron Wench forcing Dusty out of bounds, attempting to draw her back. Dusty with a nice slide of her hips. We're going to see if she picked up any points. I see 2 for this wench, and jammer rep Bonesy Adams indicating 0. Boos of disapproval from the crowd. But you gotta go with what the jammer ref saw. 2-0 advantage, Iron Wench.
No change to the score. 7:50 on the clock. And here we go again.
That's Ballerina jamming for the CN Power with only one person to beat, that person being Nasher the Smasher. That's Greta Bobo at the front of the pack for the Skids.
Greta Bobo, Nash the Smasher, her teammates picking up speed, trying to bridge for her, give her opportunity to block Greta Bobo, but soon she's going to have to let Greta Bobo go. Lead jammer.
Fantastic effort on the part of Greta Bobo. Fantastic effort on the part of Nasher the Smasher, trying to contain her. Absolutely textbook blocking and jamming by both skaters out there. You can't be upset for either side. They're both doing the best that they possibly can. Greta Bobo getting through the pack, putting 2 more points up for the Skids. That moves them to 181 to CN Power's 103, under the 7-minute mark, Slim.
Captain Lou, I think the blocking core of CN Power have put on a world-class display of how you block a team that may, on paper, overpower you in terms of jamming ability. They have blocked right to the hilt against New Skids on the block. Here we go again.
That's right. They have gone toe-to-toe, blow-to-blow. Iron Wench getting her way through the pack, but this blocking core has done a great job. And again, Motorhead Molly finding her way through the pack as well. Iron Wench going to have to be quick.
Iron Wench inside the pack, runs up against the wall. Motorhead Molly sneaking around and wondering if maybe she picked up a point. However, not so.
No, 3-0 for the Iron Wench, 3-0 for the New Skids on the block. They move to 184, CN Power to 103. 6 minutes to go in this game, Slim.
Not much more to be said. We really just await the commencement of activity on the track. We all know what's at stake here. The CN Power have put up a tremendous defense against the New Skids on the block, and now Bambi chosen to do the jamming job for CN Power.
And Cheese Grater doing a nice job of offensive blocking, trying to open up that wall for her jammer, Georgia W. Tush. Cycled way to the back. That's Bambi. Taking a nice outside move, though. She may be able to get free here. Only Majwa Cool able to keep her in the pack. Cheese Grater cycling up. That's textbook blocking on the part of the Skids. They're cycling, but that's tear apart.
Tear apart, clears for her jammer with a nifty spin around maneuver with her hips. And Bambi, your lead jammer for the CN Power.
And Georgia W. Tush is still stuck in the pack, runs into the back of her own blocker, finds her way free, but not before Bambi is all the way around the track and is ready to score points. Bambi pushing up against Cheese Grater, pushing up against Maj. She's through the pack, hands her on the hips, 4 fingers in the air, and CN Power puts another 4 points on the board, 107 to 184, with time ticking down to this game, Slim.
4 and the door, CN Power with time ticking away. They may not have the time they need to win this contest. However, some textbook play by the team from Toronto, keeping things very interesting.
Toronto's going to be pretty happy with this result. Most of this score can be accounted for by the advantage in power jams that the Skids have had in this game. I think one-on-one action, once you look at the stats books, you might see that CN Power has come out on top. Betty Bomber having to let the Iron Wench go. She's your lead jammer, and coming to the front, that's Dusty getting by. She's escaped as well.
Dusty in the free and open spaces, however, it is the Iron Wench who is now approaching the pack. She has a wall of pink to deal with. Bruceberry Pie, Nasher the Smasher blockers who have done so much work. And it is Dusty on the inside line, sneaking through.
That's Dusty picking up 4 points. That's a second time this half that the Iron Wench has made a mistake and allowed the CN Power jammer to get through and pick up points. She picked up 4 points as well. The jam ends up being a wash, but statistically, in the ranking system that the WFTDA uses, that will not benefit the Skids. It will benefit CN Power in the long run.
The New Skids on the block closing in on the 200-point mark at 188. CN Power 111. 3 minutes remaining in the contest, Captain Lou. And, what have we here? No one on the jammer line except the jammers.
We've got us a whole bunch of people up at the pivot line, not working out for the Skids. They only have 2 blockers on the track. Ballerina using that speed to find her way through, and Greta Bobo cycled to the back by tear apart. Hard blocking by the CN Power core. Greta Bobo finding her way through on the inside. She's free, but Ballerina has picked up all the points on the board. She can call it off at any time. She does. 5 points in the air, 5 points on the board, and CN Power racing out to the line, Slim.
Absolutely. Ballerina with enduring a shivering hit to the sternum by Cheese Grater manages to squeeze through, pick up that last point, call it off, and CN Power rushing out to the line. They are desperate to score as many points as possible in the final 2 minutes of this contest, Captain Lou.
2 minutes left in the game. They still have 3 timeouts on the board. A little bit of time management by the bench might go a long way to getting more jams left in this game. However, they just roll the dice and put the players on the track. Motorhead Molly rolling up against out 2-all at the front. Iron Wench is going to find her way through first, though, Slim. That is your lead jammer.
Iron Wench skating on. Motorhead Molly struck down there, but quickly regaining her skate. She is free from the pack, but it is Iron Wench who has almost a full track ahead of her opponent. Inter-pack hitting happening now as the Iron Wench inside cuts to the outside, has Bruceberry Pie to beat. She is through. She calls it off.
4 points for the Iron Wench, but Motorhead Molly also picking up a point. Skids moving to 192, CN Power moving to 117. We are coming down to the 1 minute mark remaining in this game. We're going to get one final jam in, I think, Slim, and that jam is going to see number 40 from the Skids, Georgia W. Tush, against number 30, Bambi from the CN Power.
Oh, Captain Lou, these skaters have skated against each other many a time over the years. However, Montreal has always held the upper hand in terms of intangibles. The CN Power, very impressive this evening. Going to hold their heads high as we conclude this bout.
The closest CN Power has ever come to the new Skids is approximately 180 points. Georgia W. Tush getting lead jammer on this jam. So the fact that the CN Power has hung with the Skids this close, this game, all this game, means that the CN Power has really picked up their games. Georgia W. Tush fighting her way through the pack, calling off the jam. With a timeout, we will get one more jam in. 2 more points for the Skids, no more points for CN Power. Skids going to move to 194, 117 for CN Power. 1 minute timeout. CN Power looking for one last opportunity to close the gap.
Absolutely smart on the part of the bench staff of the CN Power to squeeze that final jam in by calling a timeout, meaning they can begin one last jam. At this point, you know, they want to squeeze that point differential and get one over on the new Skids on the block in terms of the WFTDA rankings.
And the great thing about this final jam, Slim, is we're going to start it the way we started with 5-on-5, 4 blockers aside on the track, 2 jammers on the track. We'll get roller derby the way that it's meant to be played. We're going to see Dusty, who has had a fantastic game for CN Power, going up against the bedrock of the jamming rotation of the Skids. That's the Iron Wench, and you can't say enough about this skater for the Skids. You can't.
Absolutely. Both of these skaters very essential to the structure of their leagues and their teams. And here they go, head-to-head.
Final jam of this WFTDA sanctioned bout on the eve before Beast of the East 2013. It is under the way. Pushing forward through the front is the Iron Wench. She's got Betty Bomber and Nasher the Smasher to beat. She accomplishes that task. She's your lead jammer, Slim.
Betty Bomber taking a penalty there. Oh, the pyramid struck down by Manjmal Kul.
Manjmal Kul going straight through the pyramid. A symbol of the Beast of the East. Pyramids built sky high up here. Bambi, or Dust Bunny, knocked out of bounds by Jess Bandit. And that means 5 points go on the board for the Wench. She's coming back for more.
5 on the board. Dusty not giving up the ghost yet, trying to push her way through Surgical Strike. And out of play penalty coming here. They up. Surgical Strike will take a seat for the new Skids. Oh, the in is full at the penalty box. She is forced to skate on.
Surgical Strike returning to the track. Iron Wench with a bit of a stumble through the pack. Still gets her way through, puts another 5 points on the board for the Skids. That'll move them past the 200-point mark. Little bit of jammer interaction going on in front of the pack. Still 42 seconds left in this jam, but the Wench can call it off whenever she wants.
Yep, and she is determined to skate hip to hip with Dusty and eat up a bit of time. And she wants to get in the pack.
And she's going to go straight into the pack. The Iron Wench looking to pick up more points, and Dusty cycled to the back by the blockers of the Skids. Iron Wench trying to extend this lead. Nice juke and a jump. Another 5 points for the Iron Wench for the new Skids on the block.
Dusty up against Greta Bobo at the front of the pack. Dusty yet to emerge, and that is it, Captain Lou.
I don't know that either of these teams wanted this game to end. Both of them giving it their absolute all. CN Power ending up with a final score of 121. The Skids with 210. under a 100-point deficit, less than a 2-1 advantage. Both teams come out of this game feeling like they have won, Slim.
Absolutely. Both teams coming out of this contest feeling like they have played. Absolutely. Tremendous effort from both of the teams. And you know what? What better way to start the Beast of the East tournament with a slightly suspicious slip of the foot that allowed Bonjma Cool to knock down that pyramid on her way to the penalty box.
I'm sure she has no idea how that happened, Slim. No idea at all. We're going to see the Skids take their victory lap. A well-earned win from the ladies in green from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, the hosts of the Beast of the East 2013. If you've been enjoying this game all night long like Slim and I have, tune in tomorrow bright and early at 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern Daylight Savings Time. You will see 16 Canadian home teams face off in 20-minute bouts. And it's non-stop action all day long where anything, and I do mean anything, can happen.
That's right. The Beast of the East. Here tomorrow. We start dark and early. 8 o'clock. Be with us here on Canuck Derby TV, because really there's no better place to be.
I have been Captain Lou Obama, and I have been gladly joined by one of my favorite announcers in the whole wide world.
My name is Lightning Slim, and I am currently blushing, Captain Lou.
We will see you tomorrow, and we hope you have enjoyed the broadcast tonight, because, man, we love this game. See y'all, Beast of the East 2013, Canuck Derby TV.
Good night, folks.